Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ivan and I'm a commercial still life photographer. This video is a part of my online jewelry photography course in which I teach professional jewelry photography. So if you are into jewelry photography or commercial photography, please consider subscribing to the channel as I have many new videos coming soon. If you like this video, I will appreciate you hitting that like button, and you have the link to my online jewelry photography course in the description below. Enjoy the video and please let me know in the comments if there is anything that you would like to know regarding jewelry photography, and I will do my best to make some videos on the subject. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. In the previous video, I have showed you how to retouch the first angle of our ring image. Let's get back to the computer to retouch the second angle. For the second angle, we have shot 3 images. Let's look at the different images that we have. The first is the general lighting image. The second is the right side's shank lighting image, and the third is the beads lighting image. Let's select the 3 images and open them in Photoshop. In Photoshop, while pressing the Shift key, I will drag the images onto the base lighting image. I will close the 2 image tabs as I don't need them anymore. In the base image, we now have 3 layers with a different lighting of the ring. I will make sure that the images are properly aligned. I will show the second layer, lower the opacity and zoom in the image. By turning the layer visibility on and off, I can see that the images are not aligned perfectly. I will zoom in closer and use the arrow keys to reposition the image. Okay, now I can see that it's aligned. Nice. I will hide the layer by adding a black layer mask. Now, with a soft white brush, I will reveal the right side of the ring. No need to be super precise at this stage. Okay, nice. Let's bring the opacity back to 100%. I will do the same for the third layer of the beads. Lower the opacity and align the image. Okay, it looks a bit off, so I will use the transform tool to get it better aligned. Okay, this looks better. Let's add a black layer mask and bring the opacity back to 100%. With a hard-edged brush, I will reveal the beads. Nice. Let's look at the before and after. I think the beads look much better like this. Okay, so let's zoom out and merge all of the layers so we could make a clipping path. I will zoom in to the upper left corner and press P for the pen tool. I will click to create my first anchor point, and then I will click and drag to have the curved line fit the edge of the ring. I will continue adding more anchor points as needed. I guess you remember this from our previous retouching video, so let's speed it up. Great. Once we have our path completed, I will click on the Paths tab to save the path. Excellent. Let's make the selection around our ring and add an adjustment layer just so we will have the clipping mask easily accessible. Okay, let's continue to the reflection clipping path. Great. Let's save the clipping path and make the selection. This time, again, I will duplicate the reflection to a separate layer and drag it underneath the main image. I will copy the clipping mask from the adjustment layer to the main layer, and I will add a solid white color background layer and place it underneath the reflection layer. Let's zoom out and reposition the reflection in place. Nice. Let's add a layer mask to it and draw a gradient using the gradient tool. Lower the opacity of the reflection layer to around 30%. Great, I think we can start cleaning the ring. I will create a new blank layer and copy the ring's layer mask to the blank layer. Okay, let's zoom in and start cleaning it. First with the spot healing brush, same as we did in the previous video. Let's have a full screen and start clicking away on the blemishes. Okay, so you already know this drill, so let's speed up this process. It's so cool looking at it 20 times faster. I am removing only the big blemishes. The heavy cleaning I will have on the second clone stamp tool cleaning layer. By cleaning all of the big blemishes, it will make it easier for us during the clone stamp process. Great, let's look at the before and after. Looks better. Next, let's create a new blank layer and copy the layer mask to it. Let's zoom in, have a full screen, and press the S key for the clone stamp tool. Soft brush, opacity 30%. I will begin by sampling an area and painting it over the area that I want to clean. Sample and paint. Sample and paint. Nice. You also know this process by now, so let's speed it up. Notice that I try very carefully to keep the original highlights on the ring. I want to keep the lighting as close as possible to the real lighting. This way it will look much more realistic. It's worth the extra effort in the end. Pay attention to the small details, such as the thin line at the edge of the shank. Everything must look perfect. Let's work on the hallmark area. Make a selection and continue to paint with the clone stamp tool. Try to keep the gradient lines as close to the original as you can. Nice. Now the beads. Perfect. Let's merge all the layers. Select the clipping mask and duplicate the ring on a separate layer. Using the marquee tool, I will make a selection of the left bead and duplicate it. Flip it horizontally and adjust it to fit on the right bead as the previous angle retouch. Transform and lower the opacity. Zoom in closer and transform the bead to fit as much as possible to the bottom bead. Press Enter to apply the transformation. Bring the opacity back to 100% and add a black layer mask to hide it. Using a soft brush, paint with white over the layer mask to reveal the top bead. Paint with black to hide the excess area of the bead. Great. Now go back to the clone stamp tool cleaning layer and finish cleaning the bead. Perfect. I can notice that the right bead looks a bit uneven, so I will add a new blank layer on top of it and I will use the clone stamp tool to try and make it look a bit better. I think it's okay now. Okay, let's look at the before and after. Nice, clean and realistic. Okay, so let's hide all of the layers underneath the ring and duplicate it on a separate layer. I will click the layer while holding the Control key to select the ring. Once the ring is selected, I will press the C key to bring up the crop tool. While holding the Shift key, I will drag the corner of the crop box and enlarge it. Now the ring is perfectly centered. Let's bring back the background and reflection. I noticed that the ring could be a little bit straighter, so I will use the crop tool to slightly rotate the image. Okay, let's change the canvas size by pressing Ctrl-Option-C and resize the canvas to 3500 by 3500 pixels. Nice, so now let's get the ring from the previous video and drag it on top of the image. I want to make the same adjustments as before, so I will use the ring as a reference. Let's select the ring and create a curves adjustment layer. I will try to match the contrast of the second ring as much as I can to the first ring. Okay, this looks pretty close. Let's zoom in. Now I will add a hue saturation adjustment layer and adjust the color of the beads. I will make the saturation minus 60% and I will add a layer mask to hide the adjustment. Using a hard-edged brush, I will paint with white on the layer mask to reveal the adjustment on the beads. Nice. Now I will add a curves adjustment layer to adjust the contrast of the beads. I will copy the layer mask from the hue saturation layer and I will make the adjustments to fit the first ring. Nice. I think it looks good. Now I will select the reflection layer and I will add a new blank layer above it. Using a soft-edged brush, I will make a black circle. I will use the transform tool to resize it to fit in under the ring. I can notice that there is a sharp line on the edge of the ring where the shadow area is, so I will try to fix that. I will select the ring and I will add a new blank layer and paint on the edge, so it will be less visible. I will select the color of the edge of the ring. Using a soft-edged brush at 10% opacity, I will gently paint on the edge. Okay, nice. I think it's gone. Let's zoom out and look at the different adjustments that we have made. Starting with the base lighting image, the shank right sides lighting, and the beads lighting image. Then we have the white background layer, the reflection, the shadow, the composited ring image, the first cleaning layer, the second cleaning layer, the right bead fix layer, then the general curves adjustment layer, the hue saturation adjustment layer of the beads, and lastly the curves adjustment layer for the beads. Great, I will just slightly reposition the shadow a bit. Maybe I will make it a bit smaller. Okay, something like this. Great, I think we have it. Let's zoom in. I think it looks really nice. Clean and most importantly, I think it looks realistic. Nice, it looks really good. Our imaginary client will surely be happy. Great, so we have the second ring angle ready. This retouching work took me also 56 minutes to complete. In the next video, we are going to retouch the third angle of our ring. See you in the next video.